Hello there, poetry lovers everywhere. Am I lovely? Yes. Am I beautiful? Yes.
And it's no small wonder that I love the beauty found in nature, too. My name is Sarah Jenkins. Welcome to another Poetry Deep Dive today.
I love Denis Martindale. He has written over 3,700 poems for the Poem Hunter website. This time, Denis Martindale has written a brand new wildlife poem. In today's local Street View nature study, Denis describes a thrilling, seldom-seen event. Today, he witnessed a heron flying incredibly close to his bedroom window. The title of the wildlife poem is Hermione the Heron. Guess which Hermione the Heron is named after. Here is what the brand new wildlife poem's message shares with us today. So, if you guess the magical character played by the beautiful Emma Watson in the Harry Potter films, you are absolutely spot on. It's such a perfect magical namesake for a truly magical creature that just happened to appear right outside our poet's everyday window. Okay, let's dive into this. Setting the morning scene. A gentle dawn. Picture this. We're transported to the morning of August 23rd, 2026. The day is just dawning, and it's one of those cool, laid-back mornings where even the local birds aren't in any sort of rush to gather food or flirt with each other. Denis captures this peaceful anticipation so beautifully in his opening stanza. He writes, "I stared in wonder at my street, this morning once again. What would I see and think a treat before the clock struck 10?" I just love the warmth here. You can really feel that quiet curiosity, looking out your own window, wondering what tiny piece of nature might pop up to surprise you before the morning slips away. And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast he sets up next. On one hand, we've got the expected, everyday baseline of suburban life, hopping robins and flapping pigeons just doing their normal morning routines. But then, completely breaking that everyday monotony, a large, majestic bird suddenly appears in plain view, gliding gracefully from left to right across his skyline. Which brings us to the true inciting incident of our poem. The magical heron appears. At first, he wonders if it's a pigeon, but quickly realizes this is no ordinary bird. The realization hits him with an absolute thrill of certainty. That's a heron. Just look at how he describes his breathtaking moment. No flapping, taking time to glide, close to my home in fact. I stared amazed, I must confide, just seconds to react. I mean, imagine the pure wonder of that. A massive, elegant heron, not flapping frantically like a pigeon, but smoothly gliding incredibly close to a suburban bedroom window. It's a grand sight, and it happens so incredibly fast, you literally only have seconds to take it all in. The bird's flight continues. Then soaring fast to yonder tree, with dangling legs to land. I'm typing now because to me, this large bird looked so grand. The sheer grandness of this event, actually visualizing those long dangling legs touching down in a nearby tree, was so inspiring that it drove him straight to his keyboard. He immediately sat down to type out this brand new wildlife poem while the magic was still fresh in his heart. Let's move to and see how this builds in our next section, Third Time Lucky. Seeing a heron in this environment is definitely not your typical Tuesday morning occurrence. In fact, over the last 20 years, Denis has only seen 2 herons prior to this morning. 2 in 2 whole decades. So this beautiful bird making an appearance today makes 3. It's this exact realization that it was an incredibly rare, third-time lucky event that earned the beautiful bird her affectionate nickname. The poem reflects pretty deeply on this realization. He writes, "For surely 2 at least live there, in that large yonder tree, and so at last I'm well aware how blessed I'm now to see." He hadn't just seen a heron fly by, he had discovered the living proof of exactly where these majestic birds stay in his neighborhood. Knowing they're sharing his local environment brings such a profound and resonant sense of blessing to his morning. And that brings us to the final and perhaps most meaningful section of our explainer, miracles outside your window. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it lets us visually retrace the poet's entire journey of discovery this morning. We start with the day dawning, that gentle, cool morning. Then, before 10 a.m., we have the expected, ordinary robins and pigeons. But then suddenly, everything comes to a complete stop as the graceful heron glides by. And immediately after, we see that burst of creative inspiration to type the poem. It perfectly charts how a sleepy, unassuming morning can pivot into a thrilling, unforgettable event in just seconds. And that brings us to the climax of the poem, which is frankly overflowing with energy and gratitude. To think I might have missed it all, just flat out on my bed. Praise God I've seen a miracle by getting up instead. It's such a brilliant, relatable point. This grand, majestic, third-time lucky moment was entirely dependent on simply getting out of bed and choosing to look out the window. It could have so easily been missed if he'd just hit the snooze button. So, the crucial point is this. Nature's miracles are happening around us daily, often hidden right in our most common suburban settings. Sure, the pigeons and robins are always there, but if we pay attention, if we stay present and actively look, we are rewarded with the grand wonders of the world, like a gliding heron passing right outside our glass. Which leaves us with a question I want you to take with you today. What miracles are waiting outside your window right now? The next time you have a quiet morning, don't just stay flat out on your bed. Get up, look outside, and become an active observer of your own local street view wildlife. You literally never know when your very own Hermione might glide by. Thank you so much for joining me on this poetry deep dive today, and keep your eyes open.